Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we have the appearances of two great Vaishnava Acharyas, Vamshivadan Thakur and Shyamananda Prabhu. So we will glorify them by singing the song O He Vaishnav Thakur, Doyara Shagor. O He Vaishnava Thakur, O He Vaishnava Thakur, Doyara Shagor, Ei Dashe Karuna Kori. Diya pada chaya shodo hai amay tomar charan dhari. Chaye vegadami, chaye dosha shodhi, chaye guna dehodashe. Vadami chaye satsanga, deho he amare, boshechi sangerayashe. Ekaki amar nahi paye bal, Hari nama sankirtane. Tumi kripa kori Shraddha bindu diya, Deho Krishna naam dhane. O He Vaishnava Thakur, Dayal Vaishnava Thakur, O He Vaishnava Thakur, Doyara Shagor, Ei Dashe Karu Nakori. O He Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite par, tomar shakatiyache. Krishna se tomar, আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি ধাই তবা পাচে পাচে। আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি ধাই তবা পাচে পাচে। ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर এই দাসে করুণা করি। दयाल वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर। जय वंशीवदन ठाकुर जय श्यामानंद प्रभु जय वंशीवदन ठाकुर जय श्यामानंद प्रभु जय वंशीवदन श्यामानंद प्रभु जय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जी की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की, ब्रह्म मध्व गौड़ीय संप्रदाय आचार्य गुरुवर्ग की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोयभिष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुत पदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखा वितांश्च। आराध्यो भगवान् ब्रजेश तनयस् तद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गेण तया कल्पिता। श्रीमद् भागवत पुराणमलं प्रेम पुमार्थो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतैदं नायत्रयाग्रह परः। नवनीरदनिन्दित कान्तिधरं रससागर नागर भूपवरं शुभवंकिमचारु शिखंड शिखिं भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं। राधिका सरोदइन्दु निन्दिमुखमण्डली वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वन्दिये श्रीपाद पद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी नमस्ते गिरिराजाय गोवर्धन नामिने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय परमानन्ददायिने आजानुलम्बितो भुजो कनकायवधातो सङ्कीर्तनैः कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो युगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणा अवतारो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपथगामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी की जय। प्रहलाद नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद गौड़ीय गुरुवर की जय। So my obeisances unto all the assembled Vaishnavas, especially the senior Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada disciples, the listeners online. I seek your blessings so that whatever emanates from my mouth is pleasing to the assembled Vaishnavas and to our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. So today we have this wonderful Chaitra Purnima. So according to the Vedic calendar, this is the month of Chaitra. And today is the full moon Purnima. And there are four wonderful occasions. First is the Balram Rasayatra, then Krishna Vasanta Rasa, the appearance of Vamshivadan Thakur, and the appearance of Shyamananda Prabhu. Very auspicious day. I will try to touch very quickly on the Balram Rasayatra and Krishna Vasant Rasa, just to do justice to one particular topic. And the theme would be the glorious life of Shyamananda Prabhu. So, Lord Balram is not different from Sri Krishna, and he also performs the rasa dance or the Ras Leela. And so there are two Ras Leelas that generally happen. The first one is today in Chaitra Purnima, and the second one is one that is in autumn, Sharad, that happens in Kartik. So these are the two main Ras Leelas that happen on these full moon nights. But especially Lord Balram, he performs as Vaisak Purnima. This is also known as Vaisak. Vaisak means spring. So this is springtime, and during the full moon night, Lord Balram performs his rasa dance with his own gopis. So Krishna has his own gopis, his own consorts, and Lord Balram has his own gopis and consorts. And this is just to satisfy some of the gopis who are extremely attracted to Lord Balram. So for 2 months, Lord Balram in Vrindavan, in the month of Chaitra and Vaishak. So Chaitra is generally March, April, and Vaishak is starting in sometime in May, depending on the calendar year. So Chaitra and Vaishak, 2 months, Lord Balram, he performs Rasayatra. Srila Prabhupada has mentioned this in the Krishna book. Also, today is Krishna Vasanta Rasa. So as I mentioned, Vasant means spring. And in the Vasanta Rasa, everyone dresses in yellow. That is the beauty of Vasanta Rasa. If we go to Vrindavan, especially it starts during the time of Vasant Panchami. And in Vasant Panchami, all the deities in every temple, they're dressed in yellow. And if we are doing Vrajmandal Parikram or traveling through Vraj during the springtime, we find that there are a lot of beautiful mustard farms and they blossom into yellow flowers. So that indicates the season of Vasanta or spring. And all of Raj is permeated mostly with these mustard seeds, which are beautiful yellow. It just is as if somebody has thrown a yellow carpet. Hare Krishna. So on this full moon night, the devotees generally leave a pot of kheer, sweet rice, out actually in the moonlight. We remember when we were kids, our grandmother, she was a great Vaishnavi, and she did that. And we still remember that we used to go up on the terrace, and at about 11 midnight, there would be nice cooling pots of kheer that were actually, the significance is to offer it to Radha Krishna and the gopis, because during the Ras Leela or after the Ras Leela, if they are hungry, then Krishna loves Radharani and the gopis, they love kheer, the sweetened rice. So that is an offering that is made especially on both these Purnimas. And in every temple also they offer nice pots of kheer, and especially. And one more significant thing about this Purnimas, these both the Purnimas, is all the temples in Vrindavan, they bring their deities out into the courtyard. So, excuse me, Hare Krishna. We have had this experience of going to all the seven major temples of the Goswamis in Vrindavan, and it's really a festival on that night. And even in places like Nidhivan, they have this, and even on the Yamuna at Keshighat, they join all the boats together and they perform the drama of the Ras Leela and on the Yamuna at Keshighat. So that is like a floating stage. So Purnima is an amazing time to be in Vrindavan. And especially a lot of the devotees, they perform Govardhan Parikrama during that time. So glorifying the Vaishnavas is very important for our spiritual lives. And as I mentioned, two great Vaishnava acharyas in the Gaudiya line, Srila Vamshivadan Thakur and Srila Shyamananda Prabhu, it's their respective appearance days today. Uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned, it is mentioned, Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami mentions in the Chaitanya Charitamrita quoting Mahaprabhu that Bhaktere Ragana Kohite Prabhura Badaye Ullas. When we glorify Vaishnavas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is extremely happy. That is, and there are so many wonderful verses in Srimad Bhagavatam and scriptures that glorify Vaishnavas. Narottam Das Thakur has glorified Vaishnava Acharyas with his famous song, Ei Bar Karuna Karo Vaishno Gosai. पतित पावन तोमा विना केहो नाही जहार निकटे गेले पाप दूरे जाए एमन दयाल प्रभु केवा को था पाए गंगार परश होइले पश्चाते पावन दर्शने पवित्र करो ऐ तुम्हार गुण हरि स्थाने अपराधे तारे हरि नाम तोमा स्थाने अपराधे नाही परित्राण तुम्हारा हृदय सदा गोविंद विश्राम गोविंद कोहे ना मोर वैष्णव प्राण प्रति जन्मे कोरी आशा चरणे रधूली नरोत्तमे करो दया आपना रमोली. Meaning, Narottam Das Thakur has composed this wonderful song glorifying all Vaishnavas, wherein he says, please, O Vaishnavacharya, have mercy on me this time. Eibar means this time. So basically, it's a fervent prayer or begging for mercy that please this time, I've been. He's taking a very humble stance. He's of course the Nitya Siddha Acharya or Nitya Siddha personality. He's actually Narottam Das Thakur is an associate of Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan, eternal associate. But taking a humble position, he says that I am so fallen, but this time, please have mercy on me, O Vaishnavacharya. Ei bar karuna karo Vaishnav Gosai. Pati the pavan toma vina kayo nai. There is nobody as merciful as you. Jahara nikate gele papa dure jai. Just by your presence or just by coming close to you, all my sins are eradicated. Amon a Dayala Prabhu Keba Kotha Pai. Where can I find such a merciful personality? Gangara Parasho Hoile Paschate Pavan. When one takes a bath in the Ganges, in the holy rivers, one is purified. But darshane pavitra karo ei tomar gun. Just by simply giving your darshan, you can purify us. Hari sthane aprade tare hari naam, toma sthane aprade nahi paritran. If one commits offense against the Supreme Lord, then the offenses can be nullified or eradicated by chanting the holy names. But toma sthane aprade nahi paritran. But if one commits an offense at your lotus feet, then there is no recourse. Of course, the only recourse is that when we fervently ask for forgiveness to the Vaishnava who we have committed an offense to. Tomara Hriday Sada Govinda Vishram. In your heart, Govinda is very pleasingly present and he is at ease. So someone may say that Govinda or Krishna is in everybody's heart, but not necessarily that he is at peace or he is joyful. But in the heart of the pure Vaishnavas, Narottam Das Thakur has specified that word, that Tomara Hriday Sada Govinda Vishram. The word Vishram means completely rested, completely peaceful, completely joyful. Govinda Vishram. Govinda Kohena Vaishnav Mor Pran. And Govinda Krishna says that the Vaishnavas are my life. Prana. Pran is one of the airs. There are 5 life airs that everybody has. But the most important is the prana life air out of the 5. So when the prana leaves the body, then the body is pronounced dead. So when the prana leaves at the same time, Paramatma and the Atma, the soul, they both, when these 3 things leave, that means the body is completely dead. So, so basically Krishna is saying that, if there are no Vaishnavas, I'm as good as dead. Vaishnav Mor Pran. And Narottam Das Thakur is praying fervently. Prati janme kori asha charane radhuli. Narottame koro daya apnara boli. Birth after birth, I only aspire the dust of your lotus feet. Please have mercy on this Narottam. I beg, I tell you, O Vaishnavacharya. Srila Prabhupada has mentioned many a time, I believe, that on such special occasions, we can directly pray to these Vaishnavacharyas and ask for mercy. So this song, I thought, was a befitting one of the songs that we could offer. We could pray to the lotus feet of these Vaishnavacharyas. So a little bit about Vamshi Vadan Thakur. Vamshi Thakur was the son of Sri Madhav Das. And Vanshi Vadan Das, or Vanshi Vadan Thakur, is actually the incarnation of Krishna's flute. As the word Vamshi means flute, and Vadan means lips. So, the one who is always played by Krishna's lips is Vamshi Vadan. So he's personified. So we have to understand that everything in the spiritual world is chitta, or full of consciousness. There is no such thing as inanimate there. Everything is full of consciousness. So the flute, the mridanga, the grass, even when Mother Yashoda is churning the pot, she is singing kirtan, glorifying her little son. And at that time, in the Damodar Leela, Sanatana Goswami mentions, Jiva Goswami, especially in the Gopal Champu, that when Mother Yashoda early in the morning on Diwali day is churning the sweet yogurt, and at that time, while churning, the churning rod and the pot, they're also accompanying Mother Yashoda in kirtan, just like the churning rod is sounding like a mridanga, dik 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 dik, and her bracelets or her bangles, they sound like kartals, ching 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 ching. So a good kirtan is always accompanied by good kirtaniyas and all good kirtan, instruments. And that is what Krishna gets attracted most by, Sankirtan. And that's how the Krishna wakes up and he cries, does not finding his mother. He runs into the place where the kirtan is going on just by that sound vibration. And that leads to the kitchen where Mother Yashoda is churning, accompanied by these personalities. Mother Yashoda also later on in that same Leela speaks to the milk. Milk is also personified. Everything in the spiritual world is full of consciousness. Milk is saying that, Mother Yashoda, I would like to die. I want to commit suicide. Mother Yashoda says, no, why? Wait, don't do that. There's a conversation, like we have a conversation with a person. Oh, Mother Yashoda, I just saw with my own eyes how wonderfully you're feeding your Lala, your Krishna. He's got so much appetite, and you've got unlimited supply of milk like the Shir Sagar, like the ocean of milk. Then what is the use of my life? So Vaishnavas feel like that if they cannot serve the Lord, or if they cannot serve Vaishnavas, their life is useless. And Mother Yashoda says, no. I cannot make rasgullas, or I cannot make pedas or burfis uh, from my chest milk. I will be using you, I will be engaging you, and Krishna loves those wonderful items. So, like that, she pacifies. So, everything, and that is one of the reasons why we respect very highly the mridang, kartal, and any paraphernalia, because our consciousness should be that they are actually chitta, they are actually expansions of Lord Balaram. So anytime we see somebody by erroneously, they keep a mridanga on the floor without a mat, we should immediately pick it up and offer it a mat or give it an elevated position. Somebody may leave the kartals here and there, then we should, pick them up, because they are actually the companions, they are expansions of Lord Balaram. They're all conscious. They're all in the service of Radha Krishna and their associates. So Vamshivadan Thakur, as I mentioned, that uh, he is actually the flute in Krishna Leela, and he was actually a very, very good servant of Vishnu Priya Devi, the consort of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left home, he took sannyas, and then at that time, Vishnu Priya Devi was devastated. And so was many, many devotees, but especially it is mentioned that Vamshivadan Thakur and Vishnu Priya Devi decided to fast and give up their lives. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and said that don't do this. Please worship me in my deity form. So he instructed his own wife, Vishnu Priya, and also Vamshivadan Thakur to worship his deity in separation. So it is sometimes the devotees feel like, like Narottam Das Thakur in the song that we sing during the disappearance of acharyas, Pashane Kutibo Mata Anale Pashibo, Gaurange Nidhi Kota Gile Pabo. I feel like hitting my head on a boulder or a stone, or enter into a blazing fire, because I cannot find these Vaishnava acharyas. Where are they gone? Je Anila Prema Dhana, Karuna Prachur, Kotha Gela, Acharya Thakur, etc. in their separation. That feeling is there. But one Vaishnava doesn't commit suicide. And the reason is because the Vaishnava's body, mind, everything is surrendered to Krishna. It is the property of Krishna. Like one time, Sanatana Goswami decided to kill himself. He also felt that he was not worthy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's seva. He was not doing enough seva. So he decided in Jagannath Puri, in the next Rath Yatra, when the Rath rolls out, in the huge Rath of Lord Jagannath, he'll just, place his body there and get crushed under the wheel. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding because he's Paramatma, he is the super soul. He says, Sanatan, what you're thinking is not good because that body is also not yours anymore. It is mine. So I can do as I please. You cannot. Such a wonderful exchange there. And so that is the mood that a Vaishnava feels in separation. Then, now, coming to Shyamananda Prabhu. Shyamananda Prabhu, a little bit about a background about Shyamananda Prabhu. Very, very exalted Vaishnava Acharya in our line. Another great Vaishnava Acharya by the name Gauridas Pandit, excuse me, Hare Krishna, who was the brother of Surya Das. Surya Das was his elder brother, and Surya Das's two daughters, Vasudha and Janvi, they were actually given in hand to Nityanand Prabhu. So Nityanand Prabhu had two consorts, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya. Lakshmi Priya Devi, she passed away, and then Mother Sachi insisted that Mahaprabhu get married again. So to keep her will, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu married again to Vishnu Priya. And Lord Nityananda married Surya Das's two daughters, Vasudha and Janva, who are none other than actually Radharani or Lakshmi Devis. They are the expansions. Revati Devi. Lord Balram's consort is Revati Ma. So they are expansions of Revati Devi. And they actually, Suryadas told Gauridas Pandit that you go serve in Ambika. Ambika is a place in West Bengal, and you shall always meditate on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he went to Ambika, and one time Mahaprabhu crossed the Ganges and went into Ambika, and Mahaprabhu rowed his own boat. And then when he came to the bank of Ambika Kalna actually, when Mahaprabhu came, Mahaprabhu actually took the oar of that boat with him to Gauridas Pandit's house. And when Gauridas Pandit saw Mahaprabhu, he offered his prostrated obeisances. And then when he saw him, it was a very odd appearance, like Mahaprabhu with an oar. So Gauridas Pandit says, Mahaprabhu, I'm so fortunate to have you in my home, but I see that you have an oar in your hand. So Mahaprabhu said, yes, I'm giving this oar to you so that you can take people across this ocean of nescience, samsar. You can take them across with the help of this oar. And he handed that oar to Gauridas Pandit. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Gauridas Pandit also a Bhagavad Gita that he had written with his own beautiful, ornamental, beautiful pearl-like handwriting. And when Mahaprabhu came to Shantipur, which is the place of Advaita Acharya, at that time also Gauridas Pandit was present there, and when he had a house there as well, Gauridas Pandit, and then at that time he came along with Nityanand Prabhu, both Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, they both came to Gauridas Pandit's house in Shantipur, and there Gauridas Prabhu, he wept profusely And he said that I will not let you both go. You are both going to stay with me here, and I will permanently capture you. I will permanently, you're not leaving. And I shall serve you to my heart's content. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, what could they do? A devotee fervently actually capturing them or kidnapping them, literally. So Mahaprabhu pacified Gauridas Pandit and says, Gauridas, you know what? We have to go, but I will give you manifest two deities, one of Nitai and myself. And you serve these two deities. And now we are hungry. Aren't you, sir? And he manifested two deities. Aren't you going to serve the four of us? So the two deities and Gaur Nitai. After wonderful prasadam, uh, actually, and the deities also started eating. So there's Nityanand Prabhu and Mahaprabhu and the two deities, they took the prasadam that was cooked by Gauridas. And um, Madhav Mishra, another great acharya, in that time had two sons, Nayanananda and Hridayananda. And uh, they were actually, Gadadhar Pandit was the uncle. So we have in the Panchatattva, Gadadhar Pandit, he was the uncle of Gauridas. And of Hridayanand. And he told Hridayanand, please surrender yourself to Gauridas and serve him very nicely. So the Panchatattva, Gadadhar Pandit is none other than Radharani, instructed his nephew, Hridayananda, to go and serve Gauridas. And then Gauridas initiates Hridayananda. Now, one time what happened, they wanted to actually, Gauridas Pandit had a big desire to celebrate the deities that had come to his, that were given to him by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So he wanted to create a big festival. So he initiated Hridayanand, and he asked him that please help me out with this big festival. And somehow the other, Hridayanand, with his whole heart, wholeheartedly, he, please no talking, Hare Krishna. Mataji, please, not during Katha. If you have to say, take it outside. Because Hari Katha is non-different from Krishna. We have to respect it. Thank you so much. Sorry. So, where was I? So the festival. So he asked his disciple Hridayanand, please help me out. And Hridayanand, with his whole heart, he prepared so many things that were related to the festival. But suddenly Gauridas Pandit disappeared. And it took days for those festivals, but he, as a good disciple, did so many things, and he even sent out invitation to many Vaishnavas all over. And then just before the festival day, he was wondering, where is my Guru Maharaj? Where is my Guru Maharaj? Where is he gone? And he just appeared at that time. Now, Gauridas Pandit had a little bit of a temper. When he saw that everything was done and all the guests were there, and he says that, you didn't wait for me. You just started the festival. It appeared that he had started, but it was not, because he had just arrived. So he says, Guru Maharaj, I was looking for you, but you were not there. But, you had given me an instruction to help out with the festival, and I tried my best. So please forgive me if I've made any mistakes. And then he begged, but he was so upset. No, you go. Leave right now. Go away from here. So Gauridas Pandit, and with a very heavy heart, Hridayananda left the place. And then he sat on the bank of the Ganges. And then many guests were coming that way. And says, Hridayananda, aren't you coming for the festival? So he said, no, he just didn't say much. But then what happened is, lo and behold, while he started doing kirtan, sitting under the tree on the bank of the Ganges, both those deities of Gaur Nitai, from Gauridas Pandit's house, where the actual festival was supposed to be, started running towards him and they started dancing in that kirtan. And all the guests that were supposed to go to Gauridas Pandit's home for the festival, they started joining that festival. And they all danced along with the Gaurnitai deities. When when Gauridas Pandit heard about it, and he went and ran there, and he saw that his own deities had actually before that, he tells the pujaris, oh, now let's open the doors of the temple so that we can all make some offerings of the festival to Gaur Nitai. And when the doors were open, Gaur Nitai were gone. And then he found out that they were actually dancing on the bank of the Ganges, where Hridayananda was performing Sankirtan along with many other devotees. So he went there, and there he really profusely cried, and he says, from now on today, your name is Hriday Chaitanya, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in your kirtan. So then on, he was known as Hriday Chaitanya. So that's one part of Shyamananda Prabhu's background a little bit. Now, Shyamananda Prabhu, he appeared to his parents, but prior to that, he had many siblings that had actually died as soon as they took birth. So both the parents were very, very unhappy, thinking that I hope he does not. So they did not give him a very, very auspicious name. They gave him the name Dukhi. Dukhi means one who is miserable or sad. So they gave him the name Dukhi, thinking that, that will ward off any other bad omens that had taken away their prior children. So they named him Dukhi. And later on, when he grew up a little bit, he was a very, very renounced child and a youthful person. And somehow or the other, he found out about Hriday Chaitanya Thakur, who was Hridayananda, who is the disciple of Gauridas Pandit. So he went to Hriday Chaitanya Thakur, and he served him very nicely. And Hriday Chaitanya Thakur initiated him. And he changed his name to Dukhi Krishna Das. What is his name? Because Dukhi was his already given name. And he, like a lot of our Guru Maharajas, they also, try to maintain at least the Rasi, the first letter, or sometimes even the entire name along with attached a prefix, the name that is birth given by the parents, and then they attach it along with Radha Krishna's names or any of any of the Vaishnava's names along with it. So if somebody's name by birth is Radha, so Guru Maharaj, like my Guru Maharaj, gave that person the name Radha Sundari, the initiated name, beautiful Radha, as an example. So Dukhi Krishna Das, he gave him the name that. So when Dukhi Krishna Das was so advanced that his Guru Maharaj, Hriday Chaitanya, said, you should now go to Vrindavan and travel to all the different places of pilgrimage and get more advancement. So these are the great acharyas where voluntarily they send their disciples out. And especially, he said, you should study. Go meet Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan. So, Dukhi Krishnadas, not yet Shyamanand. Dukhi Krishnadas, he left for the places of pilgrimage and he traveled different places in Vraj Mandal, Govardhan, etc. And there he met at Radhakund, he met Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami instructed him, go to Vrindavan and go to Seva Kunj. And there you will find Jiva Goswami and study under him. Furthermore, delineations of Prema Bhakti, the higher lessons in Bhakti. So he went to Seva Kunj. Seva Kunj is the area today, and Prabhupada has mentioned this also. I read it somewhere in some purport, that all of Loi Bazaar, where we do the shopping today, and where Radha Damodar temple is, Radha Shyam Sundar Mandir, and all that area is known as Seva Kunj. So it is not an ordinary place where Ras Leela actually took place there in Seva Kunj. And in Seva Kunj, actually, Radha Damodar temple, we find that Srila Prabhupada himself stayed how many years? About 5 years he stayed in the Radha Damodar temple. After he took sannyas, first 5 years he stayed in the Vamshi Gopal temple, right behind the on the banks of the Jamuna, right behind the Keshi Ghat, Vamshi Gopal Mandir. It's not well known, it doesn't fall in the Parikrama mark, but if somebody knows exactly where it is, still a very old, nice, quaint, beautiful temple. So if we all go to Vrindavan, we should visit that place as well. And then Radha Damodar temple. And there we find in the Radha Damodar temple in Seva Kunj, it is kind of the hub of all our activity of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. That's where we find the Samadhi of Rup Goswami. We find the Samadhi of Jiva Goswami. We find the sitting place of Rup Goswami. We find the sitting place of Jiva Goswami. We find also the Samadhi of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We also find so many Gaudiya Acharyas in their quadrangle where their Samadhis are there, including the Pushpa Samadhi of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Pushpa Samadhi of Srila Puri Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada's senior godbrother, and, and so many other Vaishnava Acharyas. And there we find those deities of Jiva Goswami, Radha Damodar. We find the deities of Bhugarbha Goswami. His Samadhi is also there, across from Jiva Goswami, across from the Samadhi of Rup Goswami. There, Bhugarbha Goswami's deities, Chail Chicken, Radha Chail Chicken. And there are 4 deities in the Radha Damodar Mandir. Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Damodar, Radha Chail Chicken, and Radha, I forget the 4th one. Anyways, so that is the happening place, in Vrindavan back in those times. And so there, Jiva Goswami resided there at the lotus feet of his uncle, Arup Goswami. And he studied the higher esoteric subject matters from Rup Goswami. And then his Siksha disciples were who? Dukhi Krishnadas. The second one is Narottam Das Thakur. And the third one is Srinivas Acharya. 3 of them, they were contemporaries. And all 3 initiated by 3 different initiating spiritual masters. There's a wonderful lesson that we can all learn from this, especially from the lives of these 3 Gaudiya Acharyas. Narottam Das Thakur was the only disciple of Loknath Goswami. Srinivas Acharya was initiated by Gadadhar Pandit from our Panchatattva. And Dukhi Krishnadas initiated by Hriday Chaitanya. And all the respective spiritual masters, seeing that their disciples were so advanced, and perhaps even beyond their own limitations, they sent them out to the higher Vaishnavas, to the higher Acharyas, to learn more. Sometimes we find here there are two components that we need to really. Sometimes we find that there is a lot of groupism, whether it's the disciples or whether it is sometimes even gurus. We're not talking about just our movement, but many other different spiritual movements that happens. And that is actually a very Kanishta thinking. Kanishta meaning, which is of a thinking of a lower nature. If we examine this song very quickly, especially the last paragraph of Narottam Das Thakur's, everybody sings this in ISKCON. It's the most famous song. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare. So in the last paragraph, in the last line, what does Narottam Das Thakur says? Daya Karo Shri Acharya Prabhu Shri Nivasa Ramachandra Shanga Mange Narottam Dasa. This should be an eye-opener for each one of us, especially the last 2 lines. Why? because here he is actually, he composed this song when Ramachandra Kaviraj, when Ramachandra Sangamange, it is not Lord Ramachandra, the son of Dashrath. Ramachandra Sangamange means I seek for the association of Ramachandra. It is Ramachandra Kaviraj. And he was the disciple of Srinivas Acharya. And Srinivas Acharya, so when Ramachandra Kaviraj left his body, Narottam Das Thakur, out of deep separation, he starts remembering everyone in our parampara that his heart was hankering for, right from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Sarup Damodar Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Rup Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Loknath Goswami, his own spiritual master. Then in the last paragraph, he remembers Srinivas Acharya, his contemporary god brother, Siksha god brother. The important word is Siksha, god brother, when he had studied under Jiva Goswami. And his Siksha nephew, which is Ramchandra Kaviraj. So that is the bonding. It is not that just sometimes just our spiritual masters who initiate us. Only our God brothers are dear, and the rest of them are, out of the inner circle, if I may use those words. Sometimes we feel that in a subtle way. Our parampara is Bhagavad Parampara, and Bhagavad Parampara has predominant is Siksha. How much really do we get association from our initiating spiritual masters? They are busy, they are traveling, which sannyasis are supposed to do, or gurus are supposed to. They're traveling. That's why they are called Parivrjakacharya. When we call out the Jayadhvani, Jayom Vishnupat Paramahansa Parivrjakacharya, Ashtottara Shata such and such Acharya. So Parivrjak means to go around. Vrajak means to go around preaching. Parivrjakacharya. So we don't get that much association. Sometimes we see them once in a year, once in 2 years sometimes. Maybe just for a few moments, maybe in the class, but even if you have to get one-on-one personal association, it's extremely difficult, understandingly. So where do we get our Siksha from? It's from the other Vaishnavas. So we should have so much respect as Narottam Das Thakur has shown in his song by remembering his contemporary that studied under Jiva Goswami is Srinivas Acharya. Although they were both initiated by separate initiating spiritual masters. Remembering him, he mentions that in the song. So like this, when he goes to Jiva Goswami, and Jiva Goswami he teaches them, all three of them, many, many wonderful, the sandarbhas, the bhakti sandarbhas, and all the different, the Raganuga bhakti, which is of a very advanced nature, and picking up so nicely, Dukhi Krishnadas has been now again advanced so much that Jiva Goswami instructs him that now you are eligible, you are qualified now to do some internal bhajan. And in that internal bhajan, you will be serving, and also in Seva Kunj, there is a Ras Leela Sthali. Sthali means a place or ground where the Ras Leela happens. Your service is to clean that place so that there are no thorns, there are no pebbles. Make sure you clean it so that Radha and Krishna and the gopis, when they perform their Ras Leela, they will be comfortable. Their soft lotus feet will not get hurt. So having given those instructions by Jiva Goswami personally, he started taking up that seva, and for 12 years he performed that seva. Now, how many of you all here have taken darshan in Vrindavan of the Radha Damodar temple? I see most of you. Now, how many of you have taken darshan of the Rasasthali, or the little compound where Ras Leela happened, where Dukhi Krishnadas himself served and cleaned with his broom, which is not too far from Radha Damodar temple in the same lane? It is very inconspicuous not so easily. And most of the Vaishnavas, they don't even pay attention. But if you barely walk about, I would say, one, two, three, four storefronts, which would be about what, 20 feet, 30 feet. On the left, as you're going towards Loy Bazaar, there is a Rasasthali. It's got a little iron gate, and as soon as you open that, inside is the Samadhi of Dukhi Krishnadas, later on known as Shyamananda Pandit. And believe it or not, it's such an amazing transcendental vibration you get in that place. The sand or the dust is so soft, you feel like rolling in it. And especially uh, on a Purnima night like tonight, on Chaitra Purnima, and even on the Sharad Purnima, we have had the opportunity taking some devotees during Vrindavan Parikrama, and we have sat and done the same katha that we are doing today there in that Rasasthali. And it's just amazing with the full moon and no electricity there, no lights, and the entire compound was lit, and it just felt so amazing. And here it is actually where he was serving. One day, while cleaning, he found a ankle bracelet that was studded with beautiful emeralds. And it was shining there. And he picked it up. And the moment he touched it, he felt all the different Ashtasattvic vikars, or the 8 different effects, the on his romancha, kampashru, like we sing in the Mangalarti, horripilation, hair standing on an end, kampan, shivering, crying, etc. And when he found that bracelet, then he tucked it in his dhoti, not seeing anybody around. But in the meantime, one very, very old lady in tattered clothes uh, comes and says, Baba, my daughter-in-law came in this area earlier today, and she came to fetch water from the Jamuna. Jamuna is very close from, actually Jamuna has shifted the course a little bit. So it was right there by Radha Damodar temple, just a few paces away. And she came to fill water, but and then suddenly a lion came. And our acharyas say, in one sense, in parentheses, that lion is none other than Shyam Sundar. So he sometimes likes to leap out of bushes or out of trees, and she scares the gopis, scares Radharani. So there was like a metaphor there, and she ran away. And then while she ran away, she dropped her ankle bracelet from her left leg. Have you seen it? So Dukhi Krishnadas was thinking, um, how is it possible? This ankle bracelet is out of the world, and you seem to be a very poor woman in tattered clothes. And if your daughter-in-law, you're so poor, then I don't think your daughter-in-law is that rich enough to afford such an ankle bracelet. So he started saying, no, 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 I cannot give it. I have to only give it to the rightful owner. I have to give it to the rightful owner. No, 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 please, try to understand, my daughter-in-law, she is so upset, and, she's crying, please give it. And he says, no, I can only give it to the rightful owner if the rightful owner comes in front of me and shows me the other pair in the right leg. And if I have about 5 or 10 witnesses, then I will hand it over. So this old woman, she gave up. And she went behind the bushes there. And lo and behold, who is that old woman? It is Lalita Sakhi. So actually, Radharani had sent, excuse me, Lalita to get that, because she thought that if she goes, then maybe Shaman or Dukhi Krishnadas would go into some kind of an ecstasy, and then maybe it would get more complicated. So you just disguise yourself as an old woman and get my bracelet, ankle bracelet, because if I go home and my my very spicy tongued mother-in-law, if she finds out that I'm missing one, then that's it, for me. So I need to get it before I go home tonight. So, but she failed. So finally, Radharani appeared in front of Dukhi Krishnadas, and Lalita Sakhi showed her own form from that old woman, and then she narrated the entire incident about how Radharani lost her left leg's ankle bracelet in the Ras Leela. And actually, it is mentioned that uh, early in the morning, also in the Nishant Leela, just as a side note, when Radha and Krishna in their bower in the Nikunja, many manjaris and gopis gather around to wake them up because it's time to go home. And when it's time to go home, at that time, the Shyamananda Pandit, or Dukhi Krishnadas used to see that he was apart because Jiva Goswami had given him the Ekadash Bhav. And he could see that Leela, how Radha and Krishna, they were together, and then now it's time early in the morning at about 3:30, 4 a.m. It's time to go home before everybody wakes up at home. So Vrinda Devi, with a lot of effort, she first sends in some bees so that they buzz around the ears of Radha and Krishna and they wake up. But they don't. They, like, sometimes how we want to wake up for Mangal Aarti early in the morning, and when the alarm rings, and then we try to put our hand and put the snooze button, and we try to 2 more minutes, something like that, right? We have that feeling. That's the same feeling they have, Radha Krishna. And at that time, then peacocks are sent, and the peacocks sing their glories. And if that fails, Vrinda Devi is really worried now. Like, they're going to be late at home, and I have to send them home. And then she sends the monkey called Kakati, and she starts yelling from the tree, Jadila! 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 So Jadila means the name of Radharani's mother-in-law. That's her name. Jadila. And Jadila also means Jata. Jata means the mat or the hairlock. And Aila means the sun rays. So the sun rays are coming now through the trees. You better wake up. Go. And that is what actually our Mangal Aarti is all about. When we wake up in our Gaudiya Vaishnavas early in the morning, at that time, the gopis and the manjaris who are assisting, they dress up Radha Krishna very quickly, very nicely, so that they were exactly the way they came in that night, and so that when the aarti is, and then they perform the aarti. So the Mangal Aarti is basically that Mangal Aarti that we perform for their well-being, actually, that you don't get caught. You don't get caught when you go home, Krishna, to Nandagram, and you don't get caught in Yavat when you go back to your home, Radharani. So that is the mood. So when he found that, and then he said, Radharani says, I want to give you a benediction for your ecstatic seva and your bhav that you have. So he says, yes, if you want to give me something, then please give me your eternal service in the Nikunjas, and in where your Nishant Leela, your Ashtakalya Leela, all your different Leelas that are happening. So Radharani said, and not only that, Radharani was so pleased that she took that bracelet and put it on the forehead of Dukhi Krishnadas, and that formed the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And not only that, she took a little piece of camphor, honey, kesar, saffron, and she mixed it a little bit and put a little dot in the between. So that was his new tilak. I'll finish in 2 more minutes. That was his new tilak. And at that time, Dukhi Krishnadas became so ecstatic, and he fell down at the lotus feet of Radharani, and Radharani said that, actually Lalita said, because you gave so much joy to my Sakhi Radharani, from now on your name will be Shyamananda. One of the names of Radharani is Shyama. Krishna is Shyam, Radharani is Shyama. Your name is Shyamananda. So like this, he gets that, and when he goes back, his guru, Hriday Chaitanya, sees, he gets the news, oh, you changed your tilak, and you changed your name. Your name was Dukhi Krishnadas, and you did that. How dare you? And he started beating him. How dare you do that? And at that time, then finally, to make this long leela short, due to the time constraint, Radharani actually appeared to Hriday Chaitanya and said, I gave him that name and I gave him that tilak. So the Shyamanandis, The only difference between our tilak and their tilak is we have this tulsi that is filled up, right? Theirs is empty. It's just an outline. Okay, and then they have a little dot. So, and Radharani gave him one more thing. She manifested Sham Sundar from her heart, a deity, and gave it to him and said, "You worship these deities." And today also we can see those darshan of those deities in the Radha Sham Sundar temple, which is just a few feet away from Radha Damodar temple and the Rasasthali place. So, and they are called Ladli Lal. Lal means like a young boy, and Ladli means a young girl, one who is very dear. So they are the smaller deities. On the main deities, we find just like we have our Radha Vrindavan Chandra, the small ones, they have the Ladli Lal. And so it is said that anybody who takes darshan of that will be given pure Krishna prem just by taking darshan. Right? That the legend says so. Just by taking darshan. So when you go to Vrindavan and when you face Radha Sham Sundar, to their left and our right are the Ladli Lal deities. Ask the pujari and they will specifically point it out. So this is the wonderful pastime of Shyamananda Prabhu. Shyamananda Prabhu ki, Vamshivadan Thakur ki, Balram Ras Yatra ki, Krishna Vasant Ras Yatra ki, Gaur Premanande, Srila Prabhupada, Gaudiya Guru Varg ki, Srila Prabhupada Gurudev ki jai. So thank you. Time for prasadam. And if there is any questions, I can just informally take it.
The battery's gone.
Thank you for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
You shared in a previous class, I can't remember which one, about how that Mangalarti is about waking them up from their night pastime, and that's been a meditation of mine ever since. So I really appreciate that.
Yes, Hare Krishna. It's if you want more details, go into Govind Lilamrit of Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami. Lilamrit. You can find it online. Very beautiful book. Actually, it only tells the details about the pastimes of Radha Krishna through 24 hours. What Radha and Krishna did in the last 3 hours, in the prior 3 hours, in the like all that. All those details are given in that. Hare Krishna.
So I heard if you want to go back to Godhead, you have to 3 times circumambulate the altar. You remember? In Shyamananda's temple,
Yeah, they
So
say
when I
that.
tried it, my first time there, there have been always monkeys